These are our final 3 days on the quieter Camino Francés, before everything changes. We're walking from O Cebreiro to Sarria, taking 3 slow days and following the longer, quieter route through Samos. For the first part of this walk, the Camino feels spacious, rural, and almost empty. By the end of this video, we arrive in Sarria, the most popular starting point on the Camino, and the trail is about to get very busy. This is the calm before the Camino completely changes. Traditional Camino stages cover this distance in about 2 days. We took 3. We chose a slower pace, we added a night in Samos to visit its extraordinary monastery. That route is slightly longer, but with gentler elevation. This is our slow Camino. Day 38, O Cebreiro to Triacastela. Day 38 begins in O Cebreiro and ends in Triacastela, a long 21-kilometer day with big views and even bigger descents. There is no leaving before sunrise today. We stayed in O Cebreiro to see the sunset and the sunrise. In October, sunrise comes a little after 8 a.m., so this felt like a late start for us on a long day. But we enjoyed the morning light, had breakfast, and then set out. There are 2 ways out of O Cebreiro. The traditional route drops straight down towards Linares. The alternate route climbs just a bit higher, one last mountain view, before rejoining the trail. We took the alternate route. Linares is a small village named for the flax fields that once grew here in the Middle Ages. We passed the church of San Esteban. It was closed as expected. On the climb to Alto de San Roque, some pilgrims challenged Bob to run uphill. He accepted the challenge. At the top stands one of our favorite Camino statues, the Monument to the Pilgrim by Galician artist Jose Maria Acuna. Bent forward into the wind, it captures exhaustion, perseverance, and the quiet struggle against rain, snow, and cold. We passed through Hospital de la Condesa, known for the occasional chicken on the Camino, and stopped briefly before the final climb of the day up to Alto de Pollo. This is a steep one, not long, but steep. Near the top, I paused to photograph the view, a great excuse to catch my breath. At the summit, there's a perfectly placed cafe. We took advantage. On the descent, we stepped aside to let a tractor pass, along with its farm dogs. This is Galicia, farming life and the Camino sharing the same narrow road. And just past Fonfria, we stepped aside again, this time for a full herd of cows walking directly up the Camino. They were bigger than us, and they had horns. We were happy to wait and let them pass. From there, it's mostly downhill to Triacastela, a very long downhill that made us wonder if it would ever end. We passed through tiny villages, Fiobal, Pasantes, and just before town, the hamlet of Ramil. Home to an estimated 800-year-old chestnut tree, they say greeting it brings good luck and blessings. We walked into Triacastela, found dinner, and called it a day. Day 39, Triacastela to Samos. The walk from Triacastela to Samos is a short 10.3 kilometers or 6.4 miles. Leaving Triacastela, pilgrims face a choice: the shorter, hillier route through San Gil or the longer, gentler route through Samos. We planned to stay the night in Samos to visit the monastery, so the decision was easy. The Camino follows the road briefly, then passes through the small village of San Cristobal de Real before slipping into quiet forest path. We hoped for coffee and renchi, but it was Sunday and nothing was open. Lastries was quiet too, but here we saw our first Oreo, traditional elevated grain stores unique to northwestern Spain. We'll see many more before Santiago. The next town was also silent except for a friendly local cat. San Martino do Real was just as sleepy. At this point, coffee was clearly not happening. Before reaching town, the Camino offers a sneak peek of the Monastery de San Julián de Samos, founded in the 6th century, rebuilt many times after fires and raids. We explored town, checked into our lodging, and then returned for a monastery tour. The monastery offers daily tours led by a monk in Spanish. There's a small fee for the tour. Our guide was soft-spoken, so soft that Google Translate struggled to keep up. But the monastery speaks for itself. 2 cloisters, murals that depict scenes from the history and life of Saint Benedict of Nursia, the founder of the Benedictine order. A pharmacy that once served monks and pilgrims, and a quiet church that encourages reflection. After a devastating fire in 1951, the monastery was carefully rebuilt and lovingly restored. Samos is a beautiful town with full services. We were glad we stayed. Day 40, Samos to Sarria. Day 40 takes us from Samos to Sarria, 15.4 kilometers, nearly 10 miles, and one of our quietest days on the entire Camino. We saw just 2 other pilgrims all morning. After a brief stretch along the road, the Camino opens into beautiful Galician farmland. We saw several Galician cattle. They reminded us of Texas longhorns, and in fact, longhorns are considered direct descendants of the Spanish cattle brought to America. We walked through Galicia's sunken lanes, not built but carved by centuries of pilgrims, farmers, rain, and time. In the small village of Ovao, you have a choice to continue on the path or take an alternate route following the road. We chose to continue on the path. A little later, we met the day's only obstacle, a fallen tree. Bob went around it, I went through it. I think I made the better choice. The towns along this stretch were quiet, with few services until the road led us back towards Sarria. Just before town, we passed a marker linking the Camino to Japan's Shikoku 88 pilgrimage, a reminder that long walks towards meaning exist all over the world. We celebrated with a glass of Gadeo and braced ourselves for a much busier Camino tomorrow. We are now just 6 days from Santiago de Compostela. In our next video, we'll walk from Sarria to Melita, including foggy sunrises, the 100-kilometer marker, and some memorable moments of the Camino's final stretch. Thanks for walking with us. Buen Camino.